Hi, good morning, children. This is Raj, Gajendra Pillai, Kana Kingdom. Today we are going to learn about general knowledge, rivers in India. We are going to learn something about the sources of water. One of the sources of water, that's rivers in India. Take out your notebooks, your pen, so that you can write down all the important notes. Give you 5 seconds. Please take out your notebooks. In this chapter, Rivers of India, the table of contents, what all we are going to learn. We'll be learning about what is a river, what is a river, how is a river useful, water resource, a river. How many rivers are there in India? All river pics with description. Yeah. What you have to do is you have to write down on the points. I'll be telling in brief about the rivers, their capacity of water, in which place they are situated. Right? We need to learn about this. So please note it down. Unseenly you are going to note it. Whatever is necessary, almost everything, every point is necessary for that, and you are going to write it. Okay? Give you 5 seconds. Now let's know what is river. Have you seen any of the rivers any time? I suppose you must have seen, you must have heard about rivers, sea, well, bore wells, rains. These are all the sources of water which we have. This is all things which is derived. The rivers, wells, these are all made to squeeze the water. Rivers, what are rivers? Rivers is the natural stream of water flowing in a channel to sea. Whatever the water comes through the rain, you must have heard about the rain harvesting. The water which comes, all the sources of water, the natural sources which comes, it directly flows through some channel and it goes directly into where? In which place? It goes to sea. Where does it goes? It goes to sea. What is a river? River is a large natural stream of water. It's what? It's a large natural stream of water flowing in a channel to sea. All the water which comes, which collects, the rainwater which comes, we have made certain ways to flow that water toward the slope which directly goes and enters into the sea. Right? Most rivers' life begins in a tiny stream. Tiny, what is tiny? Small stream running down the mountain slope. There are huge mountains in which the water gets accumulated. Everything gets absorbed by the sand, by the trees, everything. It gets collected. And from there, from that mountain slope, and the glaciers which are melting. The glaciers means the ice which are formed on the mountains, which gets melted. The melted snow and the ice, or by the rainwater running off the land. The rainwater which give the sources according to the temperature, it forms glaciers and ice. And at a certain point of time, the temperature becomes a little hot. This ice and this snow, the glaciers, start melting in a form of a tiny stream running down the mountain slope. It gets accumulated, forms its ice. Once it starts melting, a small stream starts running mountain slope, because everything comes down according to the law. Anything which goes up comes down. If you throw something, it comes down. That's the gravitational pull. In the slopes, if you put something on the slope, it would come directly down and land there. When the water also comes with a small stream, the tiny stream, it runs down the mountain slope, right? The water flows, cracks and folds in the land as it flows down hill. The water follows crack. If the water is actually, when you throw the water somewhere, it finds one small way where there is a crack, a small crack, or folds, wherever there are folds. The stream runs according to that because it gets one direction of running. From the mountain, when it starts, it gets some direction. The cracks, there are some small cracks, it starts running from there. From there, you find one more way where there is some block. It's blocked here, it turns around, and again it finds its way. Nobody can stop water. Water can be stopped in dam, but a running water from mountain, which doesn't have any boundary wall, it makes its own way through cracks and folds in the land as it flows down the hill. Small streams meet. One small stream which has started from here, one which is started from there. It directly comes down, and at one point of time they meet and join together. What do? One flow from here, one flow from somewhere far, one flow through. Almost when they come downhill, they meet at certain point of time and start growing larger and larger until they flow and become a river. All these small streams join at one place, and these tiny streams become a big flow. That flowing water is called as a river. But this point, what is a river? A river is the large natural stream of water flowing in a channel to the sea. Where does it run? It runs to go into the sea. It's a channel. River is what? River is a natural stream. It's a running water. Please write this down. Now let's know about a river. What are the two ends of a river called? The starting point and the ending point. Right? A source of water which tries to enter the sea. Always it runs to, it makes a channel towards sea, but it stops at one place. People stop it at one place to use the source of a river. What usually we do is we use the entire water of the river for farming, for other sources like washing, drinking water. Flowing water is very nice. It can be consumed for drinking also. It is considered to be the safe water. Many people use it for the animals to wash them, for cars and other things to. So, many people use the source of water for their convenience, according to their convenience, for drinking, washing, everything. Wherever the water is needed, these rivers help them to use the resource, right? The two ends of the rivers, answer and explanation, as we say. The end of the river, the place where the river empties into another body of water, is known as the mouth of the river. From one point, from the stream it starts, right? From the stream it starts, this is called as headwater. The river gets all the sources, the tiny one, the tiny streams join, it makes a big flow. When it starts flowing, and at certain point of time, it meets some other water from other resource, from other mountain slopes, or maybe other mountains downhill where it has found some more of a small stream of a river. When this body empties, when this goes and meets to a new river to form a large river. That's called as what? That's called as mouth of the river. From one place it joins to the another stream. It's called what? It's known as mouth of the river, where the river empties into another body. It goes and merges to the other source of water and it forms a big one. This is called, what is this end called? This end is called as mouth of the river. What is the beginning of the river called? All river has a starting point, whether water begins in the flow. This source is called as headwater, from where the water starts, the tiny streams start flowing down. These are all called as headwater. From this headwater they start a small stream. From that stream, all the tiny streams which comes down the hill, they form a river. The name of the starting point of the river is called as headwater. The headwater can come from rainfall. It may come from rainfall. The rain is falling, everything gets collected down the stream, it starts running. From the rain, or due to the temperature, the water which is there turns into the snow or ice or glaciers, which we call, right? And after a certain point of time, when it starts melting, the snow melts in the mountain. It can also bubble up. When you see it's accumulated in the sand, everything gets wet, and at certain point of time it starts releasing the stream. It bubbles up from the ground also. Ground means at the mountain slope, from somewhere it starts throwing the water. The stream starts from the mid of the mountain where the water has got accumulated, and it starts throwing the water, it starts bubbling up from the ground, and from there a stream starts and form the edge of the lake or large pond. This comes out, but it doesn't make a big flow. The water which bubbles up from the ground or from the mountain at certain point of time, they doesn't make a river, but they make a small lake or small pond where the water gets accumulated. All the collected water comes, but it doesn't have more water to flow continuously. It forms a small lake or a large pond. From where this water comes, the sources are the rain and the glaciers which are formed. It gets melted, or the water which is accumulated in the soil starts bubbling up and from the ground, and it throws the water out to make a small lake or pond. Please write it down. Give you 5 seconds. Rivers in India. There are some other famous rivers. I would spell it out for you. Please write it down. River Ganga, which is very famous, which is considered as sacred. Godavari, Godavari, Godavari. Yamuna, Yamuna, Yamuna. Narmada, Narmada, Narmada. Krishna, Krishna. Indus, Indus, Indus. Brahmaputra, Brahmaputra, Brahmaputra. Mahanadi, Mahanadi. Kaveri, Kaveri, Tapti, Tapti. Ganga, total length in kilometers is 2525. Godavari's total length is 1465. Yamuna, what are all this? What is Ganga? Ganga, Godavari, Yamuna, Narmada, Krishna, Indus, Brahmaputra, Mahanadi, Kaveri, Tapti. This is all what? These are all rivers. These are the famous rivers in India, right? and what I am telling, the area is of the total length in kilometers, right? Ganga is 2525 kilometers, Godavari river is 1465 kilometers, Yamuna river is 1376 kilometers, Narmada is 1312 kilometers, Krishna is 1300 kilometers, Indus is 3180 1114 kilometers in India, Brahmaputra 2900 kilometers. It acquires 916 kilometers in India. The total, the flow of the river of Indus starts from one point and it comes to India. In India, it acquires 1114 kilometers in India. Brahmaputra is totally 2900 kilometers, but in India, it acquires 916 kilometers. Mahanadi, that's 890 kilometers. Kaveri, total length 800 kilometers. Tapti is 724 kilometers. These are some of the rivers in India which are very prominent and very sacred also. Right? So please write this down. I will be showing you about more rivers, their area, their circumference in kilometers, in which place it is situated. You have to just write it down accordingly. Right? Give you 5 seconds. Please write this down. Here, look at the river. This is a river. From the large mountains, the small stream has formed a large river. The river is a flowing water, as I said. This is for your understanding that how water starts flowing. It has started from the mountain plains downhill and the water is flowing. This is how the rivers are. In between the mountains, there is a flow of water and the flow is running. Right? This is one of the pics for your viewing about a river, how it flows. This is the larger one. All the streams are collected and made their way between the mountain and plains from where it is flowing. Yes, please memorize this. So this is the flow of river which is shown in this pic. Right? India is considered the land of rivers, as there are numerous rivers flowing to and fro across the country. The rivers in India have been divided into two: Himalayan rivers, rivers that originate from Himalayas, and peninsular rivers that originate from peninsula. Himalayan rivers are perennial, while peninsular rivers are rain-fed. Here in this article, we will talk about the major and largest rivers in the India. What is India considered as? India is considered as the land of rivers. What are rivers? Rivers are the sources of, one of the sources of water, which gets accumulated in the form of glaciers, ice or snow. Right? And all this water has only one source, that is rain. From the rain, and at the one point of Himalaya, there is river Ganges. It's river Ganga, which originates from Himalaya. And peninsular rivers are rain-fed. When we talk about rain-fed, means all the water which gets accumulated in the mountains, in the slopes, in the places where it can be accumulated. It accumulates and later it starts in the form of small streams running down the cracks. Right? This is all rain-fed. Here in this article, we will talk about the major and largest rivers in the India. While some rivers are considered sacred by Hindus, some are even worshipped in the form of gods and goddesses. We talk about rivers. That is old faith of the belief of Hindus, where they considered these rivers as very sacred. They believe that if you have a dip in the river, your sins will be cleansed. All of the bad deeds which you have done would be cleansed once if you take a dip in the river. They are called as sacred rivers. Even they worship, the rivers are being worshipped in the form of gods and goddess. India is what? India is considered as land of rivers, as there are numerous rivers flowing through and fro across the country. Right? One which is originated from Himalayas, and second are the rivers that originates in peninsula. Right? So now please write this down so that we can go ahead. Now look at the pic. What does it say? The longest river in India. This is one of the longest river. The Ganges. This is called as Ganges, but in India we pronounce it as Ganga. This Ganges. Internationally it's called as Ganges. But in India it is called as what? It is called Ganga. It is 2525 kilometers. You can see the small boats where people go in the center. This is one of the sacred river. You can see the pic. It's the longest river. Right? We will know more about. Just have a look about this river Ganges, Ganga. The Ganges, 2525, largest river in India. The Ganges, known as Ganga in India, is the longest river in India and also the largest form and longest form of river. It is worshipped by Hindus as goddess Ganga. It is worshipped by Hindus as goddess Ganga. The river originates in the western Himalayas. It starts from where? Western Himalayas and flow through Gangetic plains. Before entering Bangladesh, it falls in the Bay of Bengal. Some of the prominent cities they are flanked by the river includes Varanasi, Haridwar, Kanpur, Allahabad, Patna. What is this river? The river Ganges is known as Ganga in India, is the longest river in India and also the largest river in India. It is worshipped by Hindus. How it is worshipped? The Hindus worship it as goddess Ganga. Right? The river originates in the western Himalayas and flows through the Gangetic plain before entering Bangladesh, where it falls into Bay of Bengal. Some of the prominent cities that are flanked by the river includes Varanasi, Haridwar, Kanpur, Allahabad and Patna. So right, it starts from where? It starts from the Himalaya, and it's believed that the flow of Ganga starts from Lord Shiva. The Ganga, the flow comes from the Lord Shiva. It starts, and from that, where did Lord Shiva live? According to the belief and according to the knowledge of us, Lord Shiva used to stay in the Himalayas, where he had brought Ganga in his control. From that, there was a flow started from Himalayas. From the Himalayas, it started flowing to the Gangetic plain and it goes to the Bay of Bengal. It enters Bangladesh. Before entering Bangladesh, it crosses Varanasi, Haridwar, Kanpur, Allahabad and Patna. So there is a flow which goes from all the cities of Varanasi, Haridwar, Kanpur, Allahabad and Patna. It goes, enters to Bangladesh and it falls in the sea, Bay of Bengal. Right? So what is the river Ganga? River Ganga is worshipped as Lord, as goddess Ganga by the Hindus. It's a religion belief where I said people take dip. This is one of the pious and holy river in India. It is the longest and largest river. Right? Where does it fall? Right from Himalaya it goes. It falls in where? It falls in Bay of Bengal, Bangladesh. Before entering that, it crosses many prominent cities like Varanasi, Haridwar, Kanpur, Allahabad and Patna. Please write this down. Yeah. Now you can see this is during the sunset where this pic has been clicked of river Narmada. You can see river Narmada. It's a flow of water. There you can see it's also very large and big. Alright. So now let's go ahead to know about river Narmada. This is the pic of river Narmada. Please look into it. How it looks reddish. The color of copper. It looks like copper. Orangish red. It's a time of sunset where this pic has been clicked. Just for your illustration purpose, this is river Narmada. We will be knowing about the Narmada, its area, circumference in kilometers. A river Narmada, river in India. The Narmada is also called as Reva, right? Is a river in central India and fifth longest river in India subcontinent. What is subcontinent? It is the southern region of a peninsula of Asia. It is the southern region of peninsula in Asia. In the Indian subcontinent, it falls three countries, that is India, Pakistan and Bangladesh. Right? In India's subcontinent places are which one? India, Pakistan and Bangladesh. It is the third longest river that flows entirely within India. And the Godavari, the Ganga and the Krishna. This flows entirely in India. That is Godavari, Ganga and Krishna. So the Narmada, the length of Narmada is 1312. What is Narmada? Narmada is the river in India. Basin area is 98796 kilometers. Right. From where it starts from the Gulf of Kambad. In which cities it flows? Its city Jabalpur to Vadodara. Right, the sources are in which city it flows? It flows from Jabalpur to Vadodara. MP, that's Madhya Pradesh to Gujarat. Right, it's called as a Reva also. Where is it? The river is in the central India and fifth longest river in the India subcontinent. Please write this down. Here you can see the glaciers, the water. The river's name is what? Brahmaputra river. From where does it originate? From where does it start? It starts from Himalayas. It also starts from Himalayas. The main source is of Himalayas. Please look at the bluish water. It's the water which has formed a river is of ice, snow, glaciers. Right? We'll be knowing more about Brahmaputra. Right? Just have a look on the pic. so that we can go ahead with explanation and find out its kilometer in area from which city is it passes through and what is its circumference. Brahmaputra river in Asia. The Brahmaputra is also called as Sangpo Brahmaputra. Right? Sangpo is the trans-boundary river. It's a trans-boundary river and one of the major rivers in Asia. In the entire Asia, this is one of the major rivers. Right? The length is 2900 kilometers. It discharges 19,300 sources: Himalaya, mouth, Bay of Bengal, where it ends, the main source where it ends is Bay of Bengal. Countries: India, Bangladesh, China, right? China, from China it starts. The Himalayan ranges, the Himalayas have been taken in control of China. From there it flows, from India it goes to Bangladesh, where it meets, where it merges into Bay of Bengal. Bogibeel Bridge, how many bridges comes on this river? Narayana Setu, Dola Sadia Bridge. The Dola Sadia, Narayana Setu and Bogibeel Bridge. From where the river flows, there are three major bridges which has been made to go across. Cities are Guwahati, right? Please write this down about Brahmaputra river. Let's look into more rivers. Their length, their source, from which country it is from which place it originates, from where it starts, from where it goes. When we are talking about India, so this is when we call about trans-boundary river, means it starts from another place. The place which was India now is taken by some other country. From that country it starts flowing. From India it goes to another country, that is Bangladesh. Right? So now when we look into this, we come to know about the flowing of river, which country, which state, how it enters India, from India how it goes to another country, that's Bangladesh. Right? Trans-boundary rivers. These are called as trans-boundary rivers. Yes, please write this down. Now look at the screens. It's Yamuna river. You can see the river is very stable. The flow is very stable. You can see what is there on the back side. It's Taj Mahal. Right? You can see the Yamuna river, and the back side you can see the Taj Mahal. Right? Just have a look so that we can know about Yamuna river. Yes. Now let's know about Yamuna. You have seen the pic. The reflection could be seen in river Yamuna of Taj Mahal, the seven wonders of India. Yamuna, the tributary in India. What is tributary? A small stream of river joining to another river. Right? The Yamuna sometimes is called as Jamuna. The pronunciation of Yamuna sometimes is called as Jamuna. Jamuna is the largest tributary river of Ganges, that's Ganga, in the northern India. Right? Tributary river, it's a small stream which goes and merges into another river. Right? So the mouth, what is the mouth? It starts from which place? Triveni Sangam. What is Triveni Sangam? Sangam is the meeting point of more than 1, 2, 3 rivers. Sangam, Triveni Sangam. Triveni means 3 rivers joining at one place. 2 rivers coming and joining the third one. The meeting point of 3 rivers called as Triveni Sangam. The Triveni Sangam is of Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati. It's called as Yamunotri. Yamuna, Jamuna. So how the rivers are pronounced? Yamunotri, Yamuna, Jamuna. Right? The Triveni Sangam is of 3 rivers where I said Ganga, Jamuna, Saraswati. The length of the Jamuna, the Yamunotri river is 1376 kilometers. Basin area is 366,223. Which country? We are talking about rivers in India. Mouth, ending point is what? Triveni Sangam. Sources Yamunotri. In which all cities it flows? Agra, Allahabad, Mathura, Yamuna Nagar, Noida, Delhi, Etawah, Firozabad, Bagpat, Kalpi, Amirpur. Now this water is so much polluted that it has come in the ranking of most polluted river in the world. This was one of the best one where you could see the Taj Mahal's reflection in river Yamuna, but people have started using it for a different purpose where all the wastages and other things are being disposed of in that river. So now, according to the survey, it's the most polluted river in the world. That's what it says. Please write this down. Look at river Godavari. The bluish water, how it flows. It has a good source of water, right? The river looks to be very clean, clear. The original color of the water, that is bluish, which is flowing, right? Now we have seen the peak of Godavari river. Now let's go and have a look on its how many kilometers, right? From where the sources are, how it flows, in which state it flows, right? The Godavari river, right? Godavari river, the river in India, right? The Godavari is the second longest river in India. It's not largest, it is longest river in India. After river Ganga. River Ganga is one of the largest and longest river in India. What is this? Godavari. Godavari is the longest river, second longest river after river Ganga. It starts in Maharashtra and flows for 1465 kilometers into Bay of Bengal. From Maharashtra it flows. And where does it go and meet? It goes to the Bay of Bengal via states of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, right? It starts from Maharashtra. It flows into Bay of Bengal via state of Telangana, right? The length is what? The length is 1465 kilometers. Basin area is 312,812. Source Brahmagiri mountain. Cities where it flows, Rajamundry. Bridges, Godavari bridge, Godavari arc bridge. There are two bridges which are made to cross the river, right? Please write this down. Indus River. Now look at the plains. It is between the two mountains where the flow is there. This is river Indus. This is for your illustration purpose to know about Indus River, how it flows, the sources. We'll come to know about the sources of the river. It's again which starts from Pakistan. Pakistan once was a part of India, right? The flow comes from the top, right? Just have a look on the pic for the illustration. Now we'll be looking into the area and circumference from where it starts, from where it originates, right? Please have a look properly. Yes. This is Indus River. When we talk about Indus River, it's a river in Asia, right? This is the river in Asia. Indus River also known as what? This is known as Sindhu River, right? Or a basin in the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. It's a basin in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. This is one of the longest river in Asia. It flows through Pakistan, the Indian state of Jammu and Kashmir and Western Tibet. From where it starts? It starts from Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. This is one of the longest rivers in Asia. It flows through Pakistan, the Indian state of Jammu and Kashmir and Western Tibet. The length is how much? The length is 3,200 kilometers. Sources: Sengi Zambo, Tibetan Plateau, Tibetan Plateau, Gar River, India, China, Pakistan. The sources are Sengi Zangbo, Tibetan Plateau, Gar River. In which countries it flows? It flows in India, China, Pakistan. Mouths where it ends is Arabian Sea, Nal Sarovar, Bird Sanctuary. Cities where it flows is Karachi, Peshawar, Rawalpindi, Gilgit, Tata, Mithankot, Jamshoro, Atto, right? Which is the bridges which are there. Lansdowne Bridge, Rohri and Bukur, right? So now we come to know about Indus River, which flows, it's called as Sindhu River or a basin in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. One of the longest river in Asia. It flows from Pakistan to the Indian state, Jammu and Kashmir and Western Tibet, which is in control of China. It flows in 3 countries: India, China, Pakistan. Please write it down. So I am ending this session of rivers in India. This is part 1. So there are more rivers where in part 2 and maybe 3 also we will be looking into more rivers. So this I conclude as part 1. Happy learning about rivers. We will continue very shortly. The next one is a part 2 where we will be looking on the more rivers, and you need to know about rivers. These are the sources of water, from where the river flows, from which place, how many kilometers, right? So this is one of the basic knowledge where you need to know what is India. India is the city of India is the India is one of the main sources of the sweet water, where there is much rainfall. Everything is considered, right? All the things are considered. Where India is known as wealthy, it is considered as the land of rivers, right? What all we have in our India. In other countries, people don't have water to drink. There is no rainfalls. They have to purchase water. They have set machines to change the salty water into the good water. They have tried many things. But in India is so much rich that we have the sources of water. but we should not waste water, right? So coming to the part 2, this is part 1. Happy learning.